everybody. This is Erica. It's me, E-double. What's going on, y'all? This is your Love and Hip Hop New York review. I will get you your Real Housewives of New Jersey 2 and 3. I have already watched it and wrote it down. And you know, took my notes and shit. So, but I want to get to Love and Hip Hop first because I said I am excited about this season. Because I like the format. So we start off with Joe narrating the way he starts off narrating State of the Culture. I've always said that Joe Budden has a really great voice, and he, like, when I first saw him on Love and Hip Hop with Tahiri, before I even knew he was a Virgo, I was so impressed with how calm he was always as he manipulated these women. I was so impressed at how calm he remained in the midst of like chaotic conflict. He opens the show narrating, which I think is a wonderful idea. I hope they do it at the beginning of every show, like kind of like him recapping. But I noticed that they did that with K. Michelle with Hollywood. So almost as like they're leading the show, but K. Michelle didn't lead, or Kimberly didn't lead Hollywood, but she, you know, narrated the beginning of the show. Anyways, I think him doing that, I love that. I hope he does that. I hope that continues to happen. So we have Joe and Sin. They start off with, let's see. Oh, okay. Joe and Sin are talking about how they go together now and they have a baby and all that other stuff. Cute baby Lexington. Sin, their storyline is that she is hot in the pants. New cootie cat. New young, fresh and new cootie cat. She's 25, and the sites say Joe is 38, and that's the 38th lie from the 38th corner of hell. Okay, if you believe that Joe Budden is 38 years old, you deserve to believe every single portion of this Love and Hip Hop New York television show is real. He's not. Anyway, he's older than that. I'll give him 42. At the most, 42 years old. Anyway, their storyline is her not getting sex from him after the baby. They feel disconnected. There are a lot of couples who say that, and I believe that men, something in them for a while seems as they cannot separate the woman from the mother, and I think that he might be having some issues with that. The way that he demonstrates, like, he's embarrassed, like her behavior is like he's embarrassing, like, oh, you know how older men do when they're young girls. We've seen it in the movies where the young girls are just too over the top bubbly, just over the top, and the men are like, okay baby, calm down. That's how Joe is treating her. She does have a valid argument. She wants to have sex. She hasn't had sex in, what is it, 6 weeks, did she say? Or how long? I don't know how long, but it was a long time. And I'm with her. If you're in the house, and she was very clear. I said, Sin communicates very well. She's a Libra. She communicated to him that it doesn't make her feel good. It doesn't. She wants to feel like a woman. She wants to have sex. She wants to feel sexy. And I can't argue against that. Like, that's what she wants. You're her boyfriend. Give her that, because you will flip the fuck out. You will flip the fuck out if she goes to the next nigga and gets that scratch itched. That itch scratched. So, you understand what I'm saying? So, I have nothing. And Joe seems like he's camera shy, which is odd. But he comes out there at the pool and he comes out with the baby smiling. That shit was so funny to me. Like, hey, she was like, oh, nigga, take that baby back in the house. Throw that baby back up on the balcony and let him figure out how to get back in his crib. She was like, no. So she's very expressive. I think she was very clear in what her needs, what she wanted, what her needs were, and what she needed met. I think that's a very good quality to have in a relationship. Be open with communicating, or otherwise you're going to be resentful to that person. Rich and Safari and Joe, they go out. Safari says Safari is so cute to me. He's so cute and he's so corny, like Joe said. It's super corny, but he's charismatic. He's something about him that's kind of endearing. I don't think I've been mad at him about the Lyrica situation. I think he handled that really disgusting. I didn't like the way he handled that. But him and Rich and Joe are sitting down talking. Little baby Lexington is there too. And they're talking about Safari going to Dykeman and performing. And they're like, what? Why are you going there? Okay, whatever. And that was that. Juelz Santana and Kimbella. Kimbella is, Juelz Santana is on house arrest. Since him and Kimbella are not married, his mother is has custody of him. So somebody on Twitter said, is that the reason why he wants to get married to Kimbella, so Kimbella can have custody of him? When you think of that in terms of wordplay, and I keep thinking of this John Gray. Every time I look at Kimbella and Juelz Santana, I think of John Gray's thought process about women birthing men and women going through pain. She said she went through 9 years. They're in therapy. Juelz Santana, I don't know what's going on with your teeth, but I don't believe that. I just don't believe that your teeth were some cosmetic. I believe it was medically necessary for you to get your teeth redone because you were into more than just Percocets. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm not, but I don't, the teeth look bad. It's a bad job. And I don't believe that you just had some problems with your teeth. I believe it was a byproduct of your addiction. And that's unfortunate, but that shows the severity of your addiction. And you need to continue to stay in therapy. And I think that this is a good thing for them to be in therapy. This idea that Kimbella has gone through 9 years of disrespect, infidelity, mistrust, an addiction. She's gone through everything that is possible for a woman to leave a situation. Infidelity, an addiction, mistrust, and disrespect. You have every single thing checked off, Kimbella. I don't know if this is the ride or die chick list, or is this the this is when you should leave list. 9 years, 3 children. I don't know. I just don't think that, I understand how women have been conditioned. Like, she's probably feels like, fuck, I have all these battle scars. But my thing is, where does she go to heal? Now that he has decided to grow up, and I don't believe that he would have changed his behavior if this arrest never happened, he'd still be fucked up in the game. And you out here taking care of, I'm living as a single mother and all this other stuff. You have been living as a single mother. You just are a mother of 4 when he's around. Because you're his mother too. You have to birth him in order for him. You're his cover. You're not his lid, Kimbella. You know, if you take that John Gray logic, that's what she must have read. They must have read that book, because there is no way that I just don't understand. And this is why I say I hope that she has a logical group of women who do not give her advice that doesn't serve her around her. Where does she go to heal? Yes, later in the show we see that she's out with Sin and Alexis at Sin's house, or somebody's house. Sin's house, it looks like. Y'all don't look like y'all know each other. It just looks really weird. But anyway, I just want to know who heals Kimbella. Where does Kimbella go for all of the years of emotional, and probably financial abuse? I don't know that he's ever put his hands on her, but that's enough. Like, all the other shit, that's that's enough. You ain't got to, honey. That's all he has left, is to put his hands on her. And I hope that never happens. I don't wish that on anybody. But Kimbella, 9 years? I don't know. Anyway. She done fucked up her face. She done fucked up her body. Her butt looks, it looks obnoxious. And I believe that his abuse is a contributing factor to her changing what the fuck she looks like, because she probably wants to look like the bitches he's fucking. Alexis Skyy, she signed a deal with Treyway Records. The bitch says she wants to be the female 6ix9ine. Do you? She talked about having her baby at 23 weeks, and how her baby she had 7 blood transfusions. Her baby had multiple brain surgeries. I had my son 23 weeks, and he was 3 pounds. And I can't even imagine going through all of that. She had to go through all of that. I feel bad for her having to go through that. I don't think, maybe this Mona is giving her an opportunity to document so that she can have some kind of money coming in, being that Fetty Wap is not claiming paternity of the child, which I think is disgusting, but it's expected. But he was there at the birth, and he was like, well, anyway, she signed a record deal, and here he comes walking in. Number one, is just like a fuck nigga to take that moment. That is a moment for her. Why would they bring him? That made me, I got so mad for her. I was like, why the fuck would they bring this fucking cockeyed motherfucker in her signing? This is her moment. Why ruin her moment with this man? And then the nigga, the Treyway nigga, he's telling her, keep your personal business separate. Then why the fuck would you bring this nigga who's not claiming my daughter into my fucking signing and tell me to keep my business and personal life separate? No. You could have picked another fucking day where I could have been more prepared to meet him and say, because you're on the same label with your child's father, or your presumed child's father, because he's not claiming her. She knows who her child's father is, and he's the goddamn daddy. So you're bringing him. You could have made a meeting separate out of this to say, hey, I want to bring you two in. I know you guys have a history. We want to make sure that you guys keep it separate. Don't let me sign a paper and then look up and look into his eye. I don't want to. I was so fucking mad at him and both of them motherfucking men for bringing him in there. I thought that was some bullshit. Why would they take her moment like that from her? I didn't like that at all. And I ain't even a fan of Alexis Skyy. I don't even think she probably has a real footing on the show, because she's talking about she's an artist. She's not a rapper. She's just, these people that are in music and in hip-hop, they know that hip-hop is popular culture. They know they can go and put their lyrics on some. They don't have to have any talent. They can let somebody write something for them. They figure this is something that they are good at, and so they are going to figure out how to make it work as a job for them. Alexis Skyy does not have any star quality. She doesn't have any it factor. She doesn't seem interesting. Her energy is very, very low. It's very insecure. Like, her energy is like very like, no, why are you here? Anyway, but I didn't like that. Maino, his girlfriend Maggie got shot. They talk about her getting shot and how she has the psychological after effects, kind of like a PTSD about the whole situation, so she can't really get in. She don't want to really go to any events or anything like that and be around any large groups of people. Just in my little research reading, that she was at the same party where it was a T.I. show, and Tax Stone, who is in jail right now, was there, shot the gun. Maino, was it Maino, or what's the other guy that was there? Somebody got killed. Troy Ave's friend got killed, and Taxstone is being charged and like getting ready to be sentenced any day now. About all of that shit is like tied into it. So we know this is a real story. We know that this is not a fake story or contrived story. This is someone who's really dealing. There's a lot of issues that we're dealing with here, which I really think is really good for the format of the show. You're dealing with some PTSD in this case. You're dealing with a woman trying to, you know, with the paternity issues with Fetty Wap. You're dealing with addiction issues and a woman being down for a nigga who he really doesn't deserve it. And then in the next episode, I see a clip of Kimbella calling Yandy Smith no Harris. You're not a Harris. You're not married to Mendices. But this idea that Mendices' last name has any equity is really crazy to me. Like, honey, she probably makes more money as a Smith than she would a Harris. And being a Harris would probably bring her motherfucking credit score down. Real talk, okay? So, if you want to act like you want to be a Juelz Santana, Mrs. Juelz Santana, after all that, y'all bitches is going through the same thing. This idea of marriage bringing value to you as a person is really problematic, but whatever. Jacqui, I don't even know who the fuck that is. I've seen his name, but he said he's a model for Sean John. I didn't even know they still manufactured Sean John clothing, so I don't know exactly what he would be modeling for. I haven't seen a Sean John ad in I don't know how long. Maino has an issue with Safari, saying that he's corny, he's like a faker, he's not really who he says he is, he's not no gangster, and he has a problem with him. And he explains it to Joe. And Joe's like, yeah, you know, and he tells him what happened at Dykeman, how the people started throwing food at him and stuff like that, and how he got up on stage and said, I fuck bitches you niggas only dream of, all of this other bullshit. Seeing Kimbella and Alexis are sitting around, I wrote healing space. Those two women, Alexis and Kimbella, are really going through some really difficult things as women, and I guess that's where women go to heal, to other women. It's so sad. It is really sad. Joe and Safari sit down and have a conversation, and Joe gives Safari some really good advice, telling him, your main audience are women. That's who you need to cater to. You don't need to be out here telling niggas that you fuck bitches they dream of. That shit is corny. Stop being fucking corny and go out here and really be about your money and be about your paper. Like, to me, I feel like Safari can really, I feel like Safari is like what Shock G was to Humpty Hump. Like, you're a character of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, all of these things, everything is a joke and everything is funny, and you're smiling every time somebody is really giving you some good advice, and it's like, I don't know if Safari wants to be an entertainer, a rapper, or he wants to just be like, I can rap, but I just want to be like the funny guy. I want, like, you're a joke, like Weird Al Yankovic. It's like, you're like, I don't know what he's trying to be. I don't understand it. Like, I don't feel like he takes himself seriously. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's why everybody's like, nigga, you corny as fuck. There's so many people that say that Safari is corny. I find him endearing, but I also find him corny too. At the same time, I see where people be like, nigga, you don't take nothing seriously. Everything is a fucking joke. You're smiling at every time somebody gives you advice. You need to take some advice from somebody, or else you're gonna end up beat the fuck up, my nigga. Like, nobody out here is taking you seriously. You coming off as a real clown. And that's just what it is. Sin and Joe talk about their dry spell. They have a live podcast, and Sin stands up and asks an inappropriate question. I didn't think that the question was appropriate for the setting. He's not doing a romantic or a romance or a podcast on couples or relationships or anything like that. Why would you get up and ask him, is this the best relationship you've ever been in? What is he going to say? No? And deal with your ass later? No, he's not. Even if you are the best, that was an inappropriate question. It's all about set and setting. Wrong set, wrong setting. Makes no sense. They get in the car ready to leave. She's like, I got a hotel room, let's go. He was like, no, I want to go home. We could do all this shit at home. She was like, no, because if you get home, you're going to go to sleep, and I want some sex. I want to have sex. She gets out. That whole scene was contrived. You could tell that Joe is not with the, are you going to let me over, asshole? You fucking asshole piece of shit. Are you gonna let? I believe that Joe has an issue with the contrived scenes, and I don't think that he can fake it, because it's clear he was like, man, what are you doing? Like, this is you putting on a show. What are you doing? She walks away and gets in a cab and says she's going to the hotel. She's not going with him. She yelled out that he was a senior citizen. Something about some senior citizen dick. I screamed to the top of my fucking lungs. I said, that's what the fuck your ass get. That's what you get. You better break that girl's back out. As much fucking as you and Kaylin was doing, all that sexual shit y'all was into, all that shit you was posting on Instagram with her, y'all better get sent the same shit. But I told y'all about the fellas. They go into a decline. And they believe that that young spirit, that young spirit, if they put their penis in the young spirits and start fucking up their whole world, that they can get some youngness back in them. Nobody wants your wrinkled ass old dick in them. Ugh. Anyways, just like you don't want no wrinkled ass pussy, don't nobody want your wrinkled ass turtle dick. Kim and Juelz, they go to the park. They ain't been to the park in forever. Here they are at the park. Kimbella got on these biker shorts with this butt that looks like a loaf of bread, and a watermelon is behind her. It looks a mess. It looks a fucking mess. And they look like they ain't never gone to the park ever in their life. And they're sitting at the park faking a little scene. He comes back and says he's gonna either get 18 to 24 months or 5 years. Honey, 5 years. If you take the 5 years, if you go to trial and get 5 years, the court system wants to get paid for something. They want you to do something. So either take the plea for 18 and a half a year, or year and a half to 2 years, or 5 years. If whatever it is, I hope you do your own thing for those 18 to 24 months to 5 years. Do not be waiting up there dry as fuck for this nigga, because after 9 years of dealing with that, you better go out and get you somebody to love on you for real, fucking for real, to love on you and give you that energy that you need, that healing energy that you need, and that you fucking deserve from dealing with that. When Juelz Santana goes to jail, Kimbella, find you a nigga who can heal you. Okay? Okay. That's pretty much it with the story. We see next week. I don't know. I saw a clip with the nigga that used to do K. Michelle's makeup, Jonathan, whatever his name is, but they're not friends no more. Or they had some issues. I don't know if they're friends, but Yandy and Kimbella are not cool. She basically said that Yandy threw her under the bus. I've been telling y'all forever that Yandy is a big liar. That's why I have a problem with her. I think she is a fraud, a standing fraud. Like, she's a fraudulent woman. Just a liar, just living in a false reality ass woman. But that's just me. Anyways, that's my time. Tell me what you think of the episode. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of each other.